Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Today I'm going to show you something that you may or may not know about in Silhouette Studio, and that is how to use the Layers panel. So right now all I've done is I've taken and typed in a bunch of words. Each one is on its own little line, and I'm going to make these into pretty fonts and see what I can do with these. But I do want to show you how the Layers panel will come in handy. So, and I have several examples to show you. The first one, if you come down here to the lower right of your screen, down here, if you have the Designer Edition or above in Silhouette software, you can come over here to this, and if you hover over it, it says Open the Layers panel. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So here's my Layers panel. And notice that there's a bunch of layers or a bunch of parts already in here under layer number 1. One of the things it says is a symbol. When I click on this, it's going to highlight the thing over here in my work area that is that thing. So what I can do is I can double click on this and make it a heart. And hit enter on my keyboard, and now it says that. The next one I'm going to do is this one, and it's this one right here. So I'm going to make it say together. Whoops. And this is our. And hit enter. This one is favorite. I double click and I can type it in. Enter. Oh, and I put this is our, and that, okay, yeah, that's true. And this one is place. Enter. Is our. Together. Let's see, what am I missing? To be. To be. Enter. Did I get them all? I think I did, except for something down here says polygon, and not sure what that is. Oh, that's a little dot. I'm going to get rid of that dot. Delete. Okay, so here's everything that we have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make them all on their own layer so I can mess with them and just show you how you can do this. So what I'm going to do is come up here to the top of this, right click, and I can say add a layer, or if I prefer, I can come down here to the plus sign and just click on that, and that adds a layer. So what I'll do is I'm going to put each one of these on their own layer. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need a total of 6 layers. So I have 1, 2 layers, 3, 4, 5, and 6 layers. And now to put these each on their own layer, I can just drag them up here. So I'm going to put the heart up on layer 6. And did you see? All you have to do is click on the layer, and you can drag it right up, drag that dot, and it goes onto that layer. So watch again. I'm going to highlight the word place, click on my mouse, hold it down as I drag this up, and notice that little dot coming with me. I'm going to put it right underneath the layer I want it to be in, or the file folder. Let go of my mouse and it gets dropped right into there. Favorite, I'm moving that up to layer 3, and is our will be in layer 1. Whoops. There we go. So now everything's in its own layer. So what does that mean? I can turn these layers off and on. For example, if you look at the layer with is our in it, if I click the eyeball, I can hide it. But in addition to doing that, I can lock it. And so if I click on this layer, which is the is our layer, and I lock it, I can move every one of these other layers around. But when I try to move the is our around, it's locked. I can't change it. I can change the color of any of these other ones, but I cannot do a thing to this layer right here because it is locked. So I'm going to come back over here to the Layers panel and unlock it. And by the way, in addition to labeling or renaming what's in the layer, you can rename the layers as well. So I could say that this layer 6 is an icon or a shape, I'll just say. And I could just go through here if I wanted to and name all of these, but I don't think that's necessary for my example today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the word together, and I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to change its font to something else. And actually I think I'll go over to this font tool over here, because this one over here will allow me to see what I've recently used. And I'm hoping the one that I want to use is in here. Young Heart, that's the one I want to use. And it looks like I didn't have everything selected here. So let me try that again and make sure that the T is also selected and change that to Young Heart. And I can make it any size I like it to be. Now suppose I'm really happy with this and I don't want to mess it up. And actually, you know what I could do is I could ungroup this for a minute, and I could change these letters into different colors. So the T is the blue. I could change it to red, pink, maybe make every other one of these the pink color. Okay, and I really like that. I'm going to make the heart the pink color as well. All right, so suppose I really like that, and I don't want to mess this up. So what I can do is just group it all back together if I'd like. And then I will come back over here to the layers panel, because you see which one is highlighted. Now it's called a group since I grouped it together, but I can still rename it again to the word together if I want to. And hit enter. And now what I can do is, if I really like this and I don't want to mess it up at all, no chance of it, I can hit the lock and I can't mess that up no matter what I try. So then I'm going to go to the words to is our. And again, whoops, I'm going to highlight all of these letters, and I'll come over here again to the text tool, move my layers panel over a little bit, come to the text tool, and I'm going to choose another one that I like. I think I'll choose, let's see, what have I recently used? I'll just go through all of these. I think I'll try Times New Roman. Okay, together is our, and I think I'll make it a little bit bigger, like that. And I'm going to change its color to purple. Change its color to purple. Here we go. Is our, and if I'm really loving the shape of that and the size of that, again, I can come over here to this layer and lock it. So together is our. And for favorite, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to come up here to the rectangle tool. Excuse me, I'm going to draw a rectangle. We'll come to the nodes and grab this one and then just start hitting the back arrow a bunch of times like this, and you see what it's doing? It's making that go back like that, and it's kind of cool what that's doing. What I'm making is a little banner to put favorite in. So what I'm going to do right now after I've done that is I'm going to come over here to the replicate panel over here on the right hand side, and I'm going to say to mirror this above. Mirror above. Okay, that mirrored that perfectly above. I'm going to hit the down arrow a few times to make sure it's well together. Okay, and I'm going to grab both of them, come over to the modify panel and say weld. There's that part welded together, and I think I'll make it a little bit skinnier. I don't need to have it that big. And I'll make it a little shorter like that for now, and I can resize it when I'm done. But what I'm going to do now though is grab this half, and I'm going to come over once again to the replicate panel, and I'm going to tell it to mirror right. So it's going to mirror it right there like that for me. I'm going to grab both of them and come up to the modify panel and say weld. Okay, they must not have been perfectly close enough. I have to move it over one or two little dots, and then I should be able to weld. Grab both and weld. That's what the problem was. I needed to grab them both. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this down here, and I'm going to right click on it and say send to back. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to move the word favorite up, and I think I will make the word favorite be the pinky color, and I actually think I'll make this purpley guy, this polygon right here that happens to be in this locked area, and I think that's because I sent it to the back. It got sent all the way to the bottom. I'm going to unlock this temporarily, and I'm going to move this way back up to my shape folder like that. But I do want to change the color of this, so I'm going to come up here and I'm going to change its color by using the eyedropper tool to that. Okay, together is our favorite. Let's see, maybe I'll make the word place. I'll come and grab it, and it is not locked, so I'm going to change its font to, maybe I'll make this Young Heart again. Young Heart, and I can make it a lot larger. Better move the word to be down. And I'm going to make this purple so that I have something other than is our as purple. Okay, this is our. I'm trying to change the purple so it's a darker shade of purple, but I'm unable to do that because it's locked. So let's go over here to the layers panel and see where is that lock. There it is our. I need to unlock it so I can change its color to the darker purple if I want to. And then I can lock it back up if I want to make sure it stays. And I can lock the word place, lock that. I think I want to move that up a little bit. And to be honest, I'm not crazy about this thing here being blue like that dark tealy color. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to turn that off. It's not going to have any kind of a fill, but I am going to make it have a line of 2, and I'm going to change the line color to the teal, I think. And actually maybe I'll even make it about 4 points wide. See how I like that. Together is our favorite place, and to be, I need to make that a different font as well, and I'll make that just something I can find over here. No, I think I will also do it as one that I recently used, which is Young Heart, and I'll make it much bigger. Okay. And I think I will make this be pinky. Still not crazy about this line, so I'm going to make it bigger yet. I'm going to make it way up to 8 and see if I like that. Yeah. Together is our favorite place to be. And I'll bring this heart down here. And I think I'll duplicate it. So I'll click on it to select it, hit Control D to duplicate it, and just bring it over here. That looks pretty good. I think I would like one more thing under here though. Am I able to move this? Yes. I can't move is our, so I better move that. And group this and move this. Okay, I need to come over to the layers panel and unlock a few things now, because I'm ready to just move some things where I want them to be. Those are grouped together, so I need to ungroup those. And I can now group this word together. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to come over here to the alignment tool, and I'm going to make sure that those letters are all aligned to the bottom. Perfect. And then I'm going to group them, and I can just hit Control G on my keyboard, and that grouped them together. Now I'm going to bring this heart back over, bring this up a little bit, and this. Okay, the last thing I think I will do is I'm going to come over here to the text tool again, and I actually think that maybe Young Heart might have some kind of a wingding in it or a glyph. So if you have Silhouette Business Edition, or I think it's Design Edition, you would get this little icon right here that allows you to see every glyph in a font. So what that means is you no longer have to get out and get into another program. So I'm not seeing anything I like there, so I'm just going to go, since I know right away that the Samantha font has stuff, and I have that here. Let me show you how easy it is to use this, because here are all the glyphs and all the fancy lettering that you can find in the Samantha font. It's so much easier than having to open up another program. You can just find it just like this. Isn't that cool? So I'm just scrolling down a little slowly so you can see the kind of things that are in here. Okay, I think I'll just use this double line one right here. So I'm going to double click on it, and it puts it right up here. I can drag it down where I want it to be, and then I'm going to click on it and stretch it out this way and maybe this way. And I think I make it a little bit wider so it kind of matches the width. And the last thing I think I'll do with this, I can't decide if I'll make it purple. I think I will leave it purple. That's the way it came in. So I still am not crazy about this. Maybe I'll change this outer edge of this to purple better. And then I'll make this the bluish color. So we have that again. And you know what I might like to do with this blue thing down here, since it's kind of thin? What I might like to do is come over here to the offset panel and offset that a little bit to make it a fatter one. And then I can take the middle one out and just make this the thing that I want, and make that like that. And what I could do if I really wanted to is I could bring this back in here in the purpley color, or whatever color I like, and put it on top like that. Anyway, my point was, what I wanted to show you was, say like I still want to mess with the word is our in here, but I don't want to have anything else messed up but that. What I can do in the layers panel is just go through here, over here, and I can take the shapes and lock them. I can do to be and lock it. This group and lock it. Favorite, lock it. So the only thing that I'm not going to lock then is the part that says is our, because I want to mess with that a little tiny bit more. And I'm going to just actually get rid of it, or bring it out here on the side. And I can no longer change its as text, because it no longer is text. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here to the text tool and type it in again. And it typed in right here, as you can see. And I'm going to make it a lot larger, and maybe bigger like this. So what I've ended up using is the Samantha font, which I think is kind of fun to have in there as something different. So I think I'll change its color to the blue, tealy color. And okay, that I think really finished it out nicely. I'm pretty happy with how that looks. So what I could do now is I could lock that as well, so I'm not tempted to move anything. So notice I cannot move any of these or do anything to any of them. unless I unlock it. So if I want to change the word favorite here, I need to come over here, unlock it, and I can change the word favorite like this. If I don't, I can move it. See how I can move it and change it. If I don't want to be able to change it, all I have to do is come over here, find it, lock it, and now I can't move it. So, as I said, I had a couple other examples to show you. Let me show them really quickly. So with this one, I was just pretending this was a fall theme, and I put my name on here and my husband's name on here. And right now I'm trying to click my name, but notice I can't grab my name. So let's look over here and see why not. Well, it doesn't really show that it's locked. So I should be able to grab my name, but sometimes, it's just difficult to grab what you want to grab. So what I can do is grab this football. Over here's the word ball, and the laces are here too in this layer. I can lock that layer just like that. And now it's going to be easier for me to grab my husband's name and my name. All right, so let's suppose I want to duplicate another one of these and put it on the other side, so I can put Aaron on one and Alicia on the other. So I can click this to select it and click Control D to duplicate and just move it over here just like this. It looks like a moose. All right, so now I want to take Alicia's name and put it over here, and I can twirl it around a little bit like that if I like. Okay, again, I'm having trouble just moving her name. So what I could do to make it easier so I don't keep shifting this thing is to click on it, and I can find it over here. It's the flower. So let me position both of these where I want them, and I can lock this layer, and now I don't need to worry about moving that layer. Every time I go to get Alicia's name, it's locked. It can't be moved. So that's really handy. So here we go. This one's already been locked. I can bring Aaron's name over here, swirl it around, and put it on here if I like it like that. Could make it a little bit smaller if I wanted to. And again, notice I'm not having to worry at all about moving these little moose ears because I have them locked. So if I do want to move them though, all I have to do is actually I can lock Alicia and Aaron's names right here with this lock. Now they're not going to be moved, but I can come down here and unlock the flowers, or whatever they're called, and move these. Again, I can't move their names because they're locked into place, but I can move these flowers however I'd like. Let's see, can I still move Patty Ann? Yep, I still can. So I could come over here and find Patty Ann and lock it. Now, watch this when I lock it. So I can't move Patty Ann anymore. And now I can't move David. Still move these crazy deals. Let me get these locked. Don't want to move them anymore. And I can't move David anymore. But what if I just wanted to lock Patty Ann there and not David yet? Well, what I could do is make another layer and separate those out. So I could just right click up here and say add a layer, or click down here and add a layer. And then what I could do is just take one of these names. Now I'm not going to be able to take one right now because it's locked. So I can unlock it, take one of these names and put it in a different layer. So now what we have is we have Patty Ann that is not locked because I unlocked it. I can relock it. And we have David that's not locked. And I can lock that layer. And of course, what you could also do is turn these things off and on if you don't want them to show up. So that's how the layer panel works. If you like to design things, it's really, really helpful so that you don't have things moving when you don't want them to, and things will just stay exactly where you want them to go. So I hope this helps. Thanks for joining me.